We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis, thrilled to be with you from the broadcast booth. And, partner, before we get this thing started, what are you going to be watching?
Who gets off to a fast start? In horse racing terms, they talk about catching a flyer out of the gate. Who sets the pace and makes the other team chase?
Fielded about a yard deep. Ooh, with a juke. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. It'll be Matt Ryan leading him under center, the 11th-year quarterback, four-time Pro Bowler, and the MVP of the league in 2016.
What a season Matt Ryan had in 2016, where he led the NFL in so many different categories as a quarterback. Numbers dropped in 2017, but the team still qualified for the playoffs, took down the higher-seeded Rams in L.A. before losing a tough one in Philadelphia to the eventual Super Bowl champions. Matt Ryan, he makes them go in Atlanta.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he will find his way forward to about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
Coleman. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
The evolution of Clay Matthews as a player, it's just one that they're going to end up writing books about. He didn't even start until his senior year at USC. He didn't start in high school, and now he's at all-pro level in the NFL. How about the play he just made there?
Yeah, he has certainly made a name for himself. William Clay Matthews III. On 3rd down, Ryan. He's got Sanu. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete. And a peek at the defense for the Packers.
Blake Martinez tied for the league-leading tackles last year in his 2nd season out of Stanford, but I thought he improved his game overall. Not only does he tackle well against the run, but able to diagnose pass plays, get back into coverage, and make plays on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Second and 10 now. Ryan. He completes it to Julio Jones. 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, 65 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Williams now on the return. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who's in his 11th season now as a starting quarterback of the Packers. It's his 14th year overall, Aaron Rodgers.
Just 7 starts in 2017 due to a collarbone injury. Tried to come back late in the year to rally the Packers into the playoffs. Unfortunately, couldn't get it done. But one of the best competitors at the quarterback position in the NFL. He's lost Jordy Nelson, one of his best weapons, but he knows how to bring other guys along and turn them into valuable contributors.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. And now the offensive starters for the Packers.
Out wide is Davante Adams, named an alternate to his first Pro Bowl in 2017. And how about this for a surprise? 22 receiving touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. That's the most of anyone in the NFL. That's right, anyone. Davante Adams taking advantage of opportunities.
Green 18.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He finds Randall Cobb with a completion. Rodgers to Cobb, good for a Green Bay first. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Deion Jones, their middle linebacker, doesn't have the size that a lot of people are looking for at that position, but his speed overwhelms you. Maybe the best coverage linebacker in the NFL. Kind of sealed that reputation with a big-time interception in New Orleans late in the season in 2017.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
58.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
319.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. The Packers and Falcons, they've had some memorable encounters in recent years. They met at the Georgia Dome in the 2016 NFC Championship game won by Atlanta, as well as the first regular season game at the new Mercedes-Benz Dome. That game also won by the Falcons 34-23, so revenge on the minds of the green and gold here. Throwing now is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 40 yards. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On is Mason Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. We get set to see the Falcons offense again, and it's a group that really struggled last weekend in the loss to Baltimore. If you look at the numbers, their worst offensive output in almost 20 years.
And earlier this season, with so many injuries on the defensive side of the ball, the offense was carrying Atlanta. Remember when they had that nice streak and they got to 4-4 and it looked like, hey, they could surge and be a factor? Then the offense has gone south for them. 4th straight loss. Matt Ryan just 131 passing yards, a career low when he's attempted 20 or more passes in a game.
And now they travel to Green Bay. Beginning of the year, that looked like a blockbuster game. Both of those teams really struggling. Here's Ryan, and it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Coleman now. Room to run past midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now Ryan on first down. Throw right side caught by Ridley. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation, let him sneak his way across, coming back underneath, put it in his hands, let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They've got a 1st and goal to go at the 7. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter. And the Falcons are in for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Green Bay's offense trots back on the field, and they have a new head coach as of this week, at least interim-wise. Mike McCarthy fired after the loss against Arizona, and that was the big story. The other story, they're 4-7-1 right now.
Unbelievable, because we all thought this would be a playoff team when the season ended, and you kept waiting during the year for them to make their move. Never could find their footing, couldn't win on the road, and then finally losing at home to Arizona. That cost Mike McCarthy his job. Only the second time in franchise history have the Packers removed a head coach during the season. But what a run Mike McCarthy had. Won a Super Bowl, 8 10-win seasons in his 13 years. He'll go up there with Lombardi, Curly Lambeau, Mike Holmgren as top of their coaching tree.
That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Rodgers now on first down. The left side throw complete to Adams. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. To throw is Rodgers. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
319.
Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he's going to be met at about the 43. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
319.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Now Jones. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Second and goal from inside the 5. They come out here in the eye. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
319.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So on now for the Packers is their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. This one from 35 yards away. And Crosby puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones and his 2 touchdowns. A big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score them, garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. They begin the drive with Coleman. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On second down, Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 14-10 the score. We're back to Lambeau in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down.
Hey, let's go. Ready. Look out.
They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Kyler Fackrell. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They go play action with Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Kenny Clark in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. They go play action now. Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Falcons will extend their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Williams to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Oh, now he bowls him over, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. It's caught outright by Graham. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers finding his tight end, Graham. Packer 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Rodgers now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's 1st down.
319! 319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
319!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
319! 319!
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. He's going to loft one deep left side here, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively. but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Justin Hardy deep for Atlanta. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now, making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 23. Ryan. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. He completes it to Jones. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. From midfield now, here's Ryan. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking, able to establish themselves, control the game by running it, have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
Yeah, as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
319.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? But where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double-A gap blitz, that's two guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes, we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
319.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. The Packers on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
319.
Operating from the gun, Rodgers. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a 1st down. Rodgers now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. False start there. That will set the offense back 5 yards.
Brandon, the lineman certainly flinched there before the snap. A good call.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. After the penalty, it's Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Now Rodgers. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, third and long. Here's Rodgers operating from the gun. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
All right, say it with me now. There are a lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty.
Yep.
Wiley. Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names.
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
Let's go, hey, let's go, come on.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense.
So that one will be accepted.
Still second down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And he checks this one down to Williams. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, this from 34. And Crosby puts it through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. First by him near the 35. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
This is Coleman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Now Ryan on 1st down. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back. On
second down. Here's Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. Ryan now 14 out of 17, 82%, and it's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He sacked back to the 24. And before the second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Ryan to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know they don't like to hear it when they get to a certain age, but then you have to start to use your skills, your wiles, right? Your mind to beat guys to the football. And getting your toes tapped in bounds definitely qualifies as that, doesn't it?
The veteran showing he still has the agility. On 3rd down, Ryan. That is caught at the 7. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Williams now on the return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way. as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Now, before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. The give to Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
In our game, it was the former MVP, Matt Ryan, with a strong first half. He's over 300 yards passing already. How high can he go? To find out, let's kick it back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
58!
Now a play fake here on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Right, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Cobb. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
18, blue 58.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant's extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their own 23.
No, 58.
Now Rodgers to try again after the pick 6. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Again, it's Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down." They love being physical.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tech McKinley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
58!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Rodgers now throwing on 3rd and long. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. Going up top. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's 2nd down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That would be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You foresee incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
The Packers on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Working from the gun. Rodgers escapes the sack. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
What we just saw there, I usually attribute to Ben Roethlisberger being able to shrug off tackles, that big tree that he is. But Aaron Rodgers does that as well as anyone, too. Able to shake it off and slide and move.
And then still complete the pass. Pocket presence, so good for him.
Drives defenses absolutely crazy.
Rodgers now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
Again, it's Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
It's not a bad idea. Set up in the gun. Send a bunch of guys out wide and let the defense think you're going to try and put one in the end zone. But here, the draw play just gets bottled up from the start, and he'll wind up losing yardage.
They're 2 for 2 on third down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on third down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
Still third down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. Rodgers going to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Now Crosby for the point after. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So that drive, 12 plays in length. And the result, a Green Bay score. Crosby on now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. Seems like the measuring stick for a receiver for a great game is 100 yards. Well, he's well past that now.
And as we analyze how he's getting them, that's where it really becomes fun because, let's face it, they keep sending coverage at him, keep trying to put the pressure on, yet he finds ways downfield and finds openings. That's a really crafty receiver.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And the drive starts with a handoff to Coleman. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
Being strong up the middle is imperative. I don't care what your sport, but in football, when you've got a D tackle who can contribute not only to occupying bodies, but also making plays on the ball carrier, that's when you have the cornerstone of a solid run defense.
On 2nd down, Ryan. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here's Coleman. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Ryan. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Ryan. Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in how their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
On play action, now Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, You throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
319! 319!
Now a play fake. Rodgers. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. Rodgers to his tight end Graham on a big one. 45 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Again, they'll throw with Rodgers. His throw incomplete. He was looking for the tight end Lance Kendricks there. And it's 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
319! 319!
They'll run it with Jones. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on 3rd.
319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Crosby puts it through. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. On the return, here's Justin Hardy. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. Here's Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10.
319! 319!
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Rodgers. Looking left sideline, incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
319! 319!
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. A dump underneath to Jones. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Here's J.K. Scott now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is taken around the 12. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now. Ryan. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So both offenses come to life here in this 3rd quarter as this is shaping up for a good finish. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. Drops it off for Coleman. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a handoff looking right, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
Ryan now off the bootleg. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Ryan. Through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
So here we go. The Packers will line up to go for 2.
319.
They're going to run for it with Jones. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7.
I know they didn't tack on the 2 points, but I liked their attempt. After the interception return for a touchdown, I was thinking to myself, forget kicking it, go for 2, and they did.
Well, yeah, and everybody's scrambling. Maybe you catch the defense on their heels. They weren't ready to be out there.
Yeah, it's almost like a sudden change, right? There's a turnover, you take it away, they stuck it in the end zone, keep the momentum going. Give credit to the defensive guys for rallying and stopping that 2-point attempt.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Now Hardy on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Back to the air, Ryan after the pick six. Over the middle, complete. That's Hall. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw here is incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Ryan. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Atlanta. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at the 20.
319!
From the gun, it's Rodgers. And this is incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
319.
Rodgers will try again on second down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And down he'll go at the 25. That catch good for 5. It's third down. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5.
319. Squirrel 58 to on.
Rodgers now to throw. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Rodgers finding Adams for a Packer first.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you can actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
258.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. Line of scrimmage, the 31, as they line up 2nd and 10. Rodgers back to the air on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And again, it's Rodgers. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Now, this defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him? Bring him over to our team so we don't have to cover him anymore? Because he is really having a heck of a ball game, isn't he?
Boy, he is. I don't know that mid-game trade's going to happen, but good thought. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 43. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. So the solid run on first, and I would imagine no real hurry to run that 2nd down play.
No, it's all on your quarterback now. He's going to keep an eye on the play clock and bleed things down, and he's not going to let the ball be snapped until it's inside 3 seconds left on the play clock. Unless, of course, you're playing a video game, you're trying to run it up on your friend.
Nice touch. Cold-blooded, too. Ito Smith, his first carry, and he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Let's go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the bootleg, Ryan. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive.
And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Matt Ryan connecting on his 4th touchdown pass of the ball game. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So the drive there took 6 plays, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22.
319.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to get this to the rookie, Equinemius St. Brown. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Rodgers now on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense. Still 2nd down.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
319.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
That's fine. Yeah.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. And an alley to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. They're going to line up to go for this on 4th down. Rodgers stays on the field.
319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic off.
3 touchdowns so far. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Sanu with a grab over the middle. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching in Atlanta, our apologies.
Let's go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with, and what the offensive line has executed well today to try and get him over 100 yards.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They will run again with Coleman. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On 3rd down, it's Coleman, and they'll get him down right about the 20. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, this from 37. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
319.
Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. And this will be incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, it's St. Brown, he's got it. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Rodgers now on 1st down. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line. Rodgers again now. And this is caught inside the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
Offense.
So the big play nullified, a legal forward pass. And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10.
319!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. He hits Moore. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Jamon Moore, 36 yards. And the Packers get a score closer. Okay, so they got the score. Do you go for 1 here and save the possible 2-point conversion for later?
I think you do, because if you go for 2 here and you don't get it, that's deflation.
Yeah.
Now you wonder why you're even going for it. Take the easy one now and come back and try and get it later.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. Crosby connects on the extra point as this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a Packers touchdown. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it. And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. on the ground they go with the running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. Happier day.
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone, from Lambeau.